Join us now for the fun and excitement as Singapore celebrates 42 years of independence. The National Day Parade 2007, live from Marina Bay.
Live from Marina Bay, this is National Day Parade 2007 at a brand new venue, set against the backdrop of Singapore's city skyline. And you're about to witness Singapore's first parade on water. Good evening, I'm Eugene Low.
Happy 42nd birthday, Singapore! I'm Suzanne Ho. Welcome to MediaCorp's live coverage of NDP at Marina Bay 2007. And right where the patches of red and blue are, the stage is set for a big splash of action. Never before seen, never before attempted on the world's largest floating platform.
And the energy of 27,000 spectators here at the parade, and an estimated 150,000 more packing the area around the Merlion and One Fullerton as well as the Esplanade Bridge.
That's right, they're taking in the sights and sounds of NDP 2007, and I hear they've gathered since 10 this morning.
Well, Singapore's business district overlooks the parade, and at different angles you get fresh views of the panoramic backdrop.
And the spectators look like they're ready to party. Another beautiful angle of the parade venue here. You know, there are thousands more people celebrating and watching the parade from the hotels in Marina.
And here, dressed as marine creatures, are the Bay ambassadors, and they're just revving up the crowd. You might remember them as the motivators at past parades.
And kicking off now, Talent Pool, a concert of local stars. They'll sing 5 Stars Are Rising. Performance of the show will weave through the audience to the stage then.
Reach out for the moon above, savor freedom, truth and love. There's a new moon arising out of the stormy sea. Each is a lamp to guide our way, a lamp
Stars Are Rising, sung there by Asha Edmund, Lily Nuez Rahmat, Sebastian Tan and Gani Karim.
And Singapore's stars are certainly shining today as the nation marks 42 years of independence. And the MCs, familiar faces here: Daniel Ong, Belinda Lee, Annabelle Francis, Nurulaini Rahim and Shabir Mohammed. And you can certainly expect many firsts from this historic day on the Bay.
All right, now the opening number you just heard was one of our favorite Singapore songs, 5 Stars Are Rising.
Yes, and it's performed by Gunny, Lily Nuris, Sebastian Tan and Asha. The colorful performance of the Bay Ambassadors!
Oh yeah!
Come on, guys! They're made of the ITE and the Polytechnic students and also volunteers from the Touch Community Services.
And the performers with very vibrant and creative costumes are from our NDP 07 show this year for Simplicity.
Well, Marina, we have a promise to make. We promise the most memorable evening in Singapore's history.
Yes, so Singapore, are you guys ready for a magical
And now they're
evening?
setting the mood for the entry of the Red Lions.
That's right, the MCs are working up the crowd. Overhead, Singapore's famous parajumpers are getting into action to wow the crowds once again.
Of course, the Red Lions need no introduction. They have become a parade highlight. So National Day celebrations just would not be complete without them.
And there you go, they've started their daring descent from their Super Puma helicopter 5,000 meters above ground.
Well, I wonder what it feels like to spiral through the air like that. What a magnificent view here.
Yes, Suzanne, it must be an out-of-this-world feeling up there. Definitely not for the faint-hearted, I think. But for those who can stomach it, they must really just lose themselves in a feeling of just being on top of the world, literally.
That's right, Eugene. And you know, 5 minutes is all they have before they hit the ground. And there, back on Earth, spectators have spotted their red heroes overhead. A great photo op. I think many will not miss out on.
And drumming up support now, we hear the thundering rhythms of the percussion group Wicked Aura Batucada.
The music hails from Brazilian batucada music, blended with Afrobeats, funk and local ethnic beats.
And their youthful energy, I'm sure, knows no bounds, and that certainly presents a perfect accompaniment.
That's right, for the thrilling action right above, and there the 5 Red Lions free-falling at speeds of up to 200 kilometers per hour.
And as we await the first Red Lions entry on the floating platform, you know, Suzanne, did you know the mental stress of a jump is apparently equal to the physical fatigue from a 5-kilometer run, because the same amount of energy is burnt.
But they're getting a breathtaking workout, so hey, why not, right? Plus the roar of the crowd must just top off the exhilaration. You know, Eugene, we all know that timing and precision are key to this daring act, but there are many new risks to this old favorite.
That's right. Wind conditions at the bay here pose a huge challenge to steering. And what's more, the landing area has been reduced by almost half, so chances of ending up in the water are greater too.
That's right. And now in full view of the crowd, we have the first Red Lion approaching. He is First Warrant Officer Oh Beng Lee. And he's definitely steering his parachute towards the floating stage now. Just hear the crowd going wild.
Appreciative crowd there, just applauding and cheering the Red Lions along.
That's right. Woo! And there, the first Red Lion right on target, receiving a rousing applause and cheers with a very appreciative crowd.
That's right, smiles all around.
630 jumps! Everybody go!
And here comes First Warrant Officer Tay Hui Chai. Beautiful landing.
They're always a crowd favorite, aren't they, Eugene? It must be so gratifying for them to just see everyone waving their flags wildly at them.
Must be the great reward for them.
That's right, and maneuvering his way in now, Captain Clarence Chua. This is his debut jump at a National Day Parade. What a proud moment there for him and his family.
And talking about the dangers involved, many of the structures like the lighting and sound towers jutting out from around the stage ups the risk factor for the Red Lions as they negotiate their way into the thick of the action.
Ooh, and there he goes. And fantastic welcome roars for the parajumpers.
All right, you guys are doing great so far. Let's cheer on our final jumper.
That's right, we are awaiting the fifth and final day jumper now. He is Lieutenant Jerome Xiao.
And a round of applause for the Red Lions taking in their moment of pride there for a job well done.
And they've made it a perfect 5, another feather in their cap.
Marina Bay. They are amazing, aren't they? Let's hear you say
Well, it's a bay of endless possibilities here at Marina, so just get set for many twists and turns and special surprises today. And what a proud moment for the Red Lions now. They've made numerous jumps, but this is extra special, no doubt, because they go down in history as the first parajumpers to land on the world's largest floating stage at Singapore's first National Day Parade on water. Now, how's that for accomplishment?
That's right, Suzanne. You know what? That's not the end. 5 more Red Lions will take to the night sky later.
A commitment of love. Revolutionary designs with precious gems embedding the inner ring surfaces to signify a happy matrimony. Victoria's Gems at Central. Victoria's Gems wishes all Singaporeans a happy National Day.
Daddy, why are the vegetables so green?
Because of the sun. It stimulates photosynthesis, helping vegetables stay healthy.
Just like our fridge. Our fridge?
The new W class with LED sunlight to stimulate photosynthesis. It boosts vitamin C preservation by 1.5 times.
So can I grow vegetables in the fridge?
W class from Mitsubishi Electric.
Live the dream with Kaplan Singapore, the leading education centre. It's time to showcase some of Singapore's best talent.
It was a powerful performance. It's nerve-wracking, you know. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed.
As they say, you only get one shot.
Catch the brand new show, Live the Dream, premiering right after the National Day Parade at 8:20 p.m. on 5. Also, brought to you by co-sponsors Clearasil, clearer skin in 3 days, Subway, eat fresh, and Sony Ericsson.
The slow-moving traffic on the ECP heading towards Changi Airport with an accident in one lane. Already got...
Now you can do 3 things with one clever device. Watch, surf, talk with Hub Station.
Ooh, Susan would love this.
There's no space.
We'll make space.
Mike loves trucks.
Huh? He already has 15.
He won't mind another one.
And how about the kid next door?
We hardly talk.
You can start now. One for Janice?
She's in London.
You can send it to her.
Find any reason to use your HSBC credit card and take part in HSBC's Win a Million celebration.
This one for Vincent then?
Your uncle.
Why not?
HSBC, the world's local bank.
Welcome Welcome back to NDP at Marina Bay 2007. I'm Suzanne Ho.
And I'm Eugene Loh. Singapore's floating stage is all set for the nation's first parade away from the National Stadium and the Padang. We are right across the site of the Marina Bay Sands Integrated Resort.
And with space available there, the 21-gun salute will be fired right across the seating gallery.
Here's a look at the challenges facing the 21st Battalion Singapore Artillery as they set up the equipment at Marina.
Well, they have to transport several thousand kilograms of equipment, including more than half a kilogram of gunpowder to the site. And to ensure the equipment is in perfect order for the ceremony, the officers give it a good clean, especially the wheels, which run over sandy surfaces during transportation.
It takes 2 hours to set up, and the men have to mount the guns onto a base plate and secure it before the setup is complete.
Well, 6 cannons fire the presidential salute, each weighing 1,800 kilograms. And 6 officers are needed to man 1 cannon.
The officers then manually adjust the angle of the cannon.
And you will hear the salutes go off as the president inspects the parade.
This is an integral part of the parade and ceremony segments, which showcases the precision and discipline of a military-style parade.
And in a moment, we go behind the scenes to see how the marching contingents prepared for today's parade. Well, this year, Singapore marks 42 years of independence, and the nation is also commemorating 40 years of national service. The marching contingents will form the parade and ceremonial segment.
And they've been rehearsing since February. The civilian contingents underwent training with the military, learning the marching drills, what angle to swing their arms, taking dressing and marching in sync with the troops.
And they also had to get familiar with the marching commands, which are in Malay. No easy task, but after months of practice, they're set to rise to the occasion at NDP 2007.
A magnificent view of Singapore's floating stadium set against the city skyline from 2,500 meters overhead.
And we're crossing to Suntec City next to witness the uncasing ceremony for the colours, which are state and military flags that will be paraded later on.
This is the first time such a solemn ceremony is being showcased in public. In the Singapore Armed Forces, colours are awarded to units in commemoration of their achievements in the field of combat, training, administrative efficiency and service to the community.
The colours symbolise the spirit of the regiment in all its tradition, glory and pride by promoting cohesion and esprit de corps. There is only one copy per colour, so it is the same colour on parade every year.
The colours are consecrated before use and are usually only paraded on significant and auspicious occasions. And on parades, they're always escorted by armed guards and paid the highest compliments by all soldiers and officers.
And history will be made as the Colours Party marches 1.2 kilometers from Suntec City to Marina Bay for the first time ever before arriving at the floating platform.
The parade and ceremony segments are next. See you at Marina Bay after the break.
Amidst lush greenery to the soothing sounds of water, an elegant, sensual and cozy dining experience awaits you. Be charmed by the excellent cuisine and flawless service here at Pioneer Spring. Enjoy our grand banquet hall and scenic private function rooms. Pioneer Spring, your gourmet haven.
People that have always been listening to and understanding Singaporeans for the past 76 years, to the country that has welcomed one and all with open arms. Happy birthday, Singapore. Prudential, asset management, insurance.
Continue the celebrations with the hottest local singing competition yet. Live the Dream premieres at 8:20, entertaining you first on 5.
您的冷气医生，特别品牌，绝对服务，非常方便。
Remember, my report at 3 p.m.
Backlog due, 2 p.m.
New Tiger Balm Neck and Shoulder Rub Boost gives aching and overstressed muscles extra strength relief. It's the boost you need. New Tiger Balm Neck and Shoulder Rub Boost. The power massage on the go.
Are your tired legs troubling you? Do you have aching feet? I used to have tired, aching legs at the end of the day. My legs felt so heavy. But with Awesome U Squeeze, my legs feel really light. The squeezing is so comforting, so relaxing, so soothing. I feel great and my beautiful legs are happier now. Awesome U Squeeze. It just feels so good.
Awesome.
Live from Marina Bay, we're celebrating Singapore's 42nd birthday. I'm Suzanne Ho. The parade and ceremony segment will begin shortly.
I'm Eugene Low. Good evening, and to our viewers on MediaCorp's Channel 5 and our listeners on 938 Live, thanks for joining us. And after warming up in some pre-parade action, spectators are ready for the parade and ceremony segment.
And they're having fun with the novelty items like the star clappers and animal-themed sun visors there. All from their compacts, which are called the assembly bag this year because you can take them apart and reassemble them.
Let's welcome the Parade Sergeant Major.
Marching in now, the 12-man bugle party to perform the bugle call.
As we commence the parade and ceremonial segment.
And that signals the start of the traditional parade. This evening's Parade Sergeant Major is 48-year-old Master Warrant Officer Eric Chong. His thoughts and aspirations for NDP 2007 in a video now.
Hi, it is a joy to celebrate our nation's independence with you on this world's largest floating platform. Let us be mindful that it took us a lot of hard work to achieve our status and who we are today. So let us continue to work as one and enjoy this peaceful homeland called Singapore. Happy birthday.
On the RSM's command, the supporting contingent will march in, and once again this year's parade is anchored on the 5 pillars of total defense: military, civil, social, economic and psychological.
The supporting contingents are making a simultaneous 4-prong entry from the tunnels under the seating gallery. And here are the Boys Brigade, followed by the Girl Guides, representing psychological defense. They're joined by the Red Cross and the Boy Scouts.
The psychological defense is about having pride in and being loyal and committed to our country.
Well, more than 2,300 people are marching, including 2 new contingents from the Civil Defense Cadet Corps and SemCorp Marine, the company behind the construction of the floating stage.
Leading the march in on the left and right bridges are the young and energetic secondary school students from the various uniform youth organizations.
Representing military defense are officers from the Singapore Armed Forces, and military defense is the cornerstone of total defense.
National Cadet Corps, National Civil
Representing civil defense here are men from the Singapore Police Force, followed by the Singapore Civil Defense Force. And this year's parade and ceremony will be lively while retaining the strong traditions associated with ceremonial segments in the past.
And dressed in their party colour whites are the men and women from the People's Action Party. The PAP has participated in every National Day parade since the nation's first birthday in 1956.
And over there, more than 70 staff from Singapore's National Water Agency, PUB. While the civilian contingents from the public and private sector, along with youth from the uniformed groups, will execute drills alongside the military and paramilitary contingents.
And the Boy Scouts must surely be eager to salute and welcome their Chief Scout later on, President S.R. Nathan.
The National Water Agency and National Trades Union Congress contingents.
And here are the contingents representing the military arm of total defense. You know, Eugene, we're really witnessing a new chapter in National Day parades in Singapore right here on this 120-meter by 83-meter record-making platform.
That's right, Suzanne, and this floating stage is set to host the next 5 NDPs at least, while the National Stadium is rebuilt and transformed into Singapore Sports Complex by 2011.
And 6 months of hard work and practice, especially for the civilian contingents, must surely be paying off now as they march alongside the military and paramilitary with pride and passion.
Your eye on the contingents as they move in synchrony across the floating platform to execute a transformation.
Indeed, a day of national pride for so many reasons. A historic parade set against a brand new skyline, a brand new venue in the city.
NDP 07 for National Day Parade 2007. Happy 42nd birthday, Singapore.
And once the parade is mustered next, the RSM will hand over command to the parade commander. The Bugle Party now getting into position for the entry of the parade commander, Lieutenant Colonel Sito Park On.
And after the symbolic taking over from the RSM, Lieutenant Colonel Sito Park On will share with us his pride at taking command of the NDP in a video.
And after that, he will he will give the command for the Colours Party and Guard of Honour contingents to march in.
The parade commander for this evening's parade is Lieutenant Colonel N.S. Sito Park On, Commander 24th Singapore Infantry Brigade.
NDP 2007 is a significant milestone, not only for my family and me, but also for all the participants and working parties who have put in their hearts and souls to make the nation's 42nd birthday celebration, our first ever NDP on the world's largest floating platform, a resounding success. I'm proud to be in the team. We shall strive to maintain a secure, stable, harmonious and compassionate society to strengthen our position in the global economy for our future.
march in, here are the 35 regimental colors of the SAF making their way to take their place of pride in front of the parade.
And here is the Air Force Guard of Honor contingent. They're led by Major Mo Chu-yin.
And they're marching to music by the combined orchestra led by Major Philip Tung that plays a crucial role in regulating the timing and the tempo of the parade.
The 3 state and 35 regimental colors represent the pride and honor of each service and must be protected at all costs.
The Police Guard of Honor contingent comprises personnel from divisions all over Singapore.
And the Army Guard of Honor contingent is led by Major Wilson Yeoh. All members of the contingents are dressed in their respective ceremonial uniforms known as the number 1 uniform.
And here, the Navy Guard of Honor contingent led by Major Ng Boon Soo.
The Guard of Honor contingents are marching into position at the front of the parade. And the parading of military flags or colors is an important feature of the National Day Parade.
Colors originated as a means of battlefield identification to rally the troops and to mark the location of the commander.
And today they have come to embody the spirit of the unit, representing the pride, honor and loyalty of the men.
Shortly, the parade commander will give orders for the Guard of Honor contingents to take dressing, followed by a command by the parade sergeant major for the officers to salute the arrival of the members of Parliament.
Watch as the regimental colors fan across the floating platform in a single file. Ladies and gentlemen,
and that marks the arrival of the members of Parliament.
Mr. Abdullah Tamuji and members of Parliament to this evening's parade.
And the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Abdullah Tamuji, making his way up the seating gallery. Mr. Abdullah has been an elected MP since 1984.
And the MPs will be seated among thousands of VIPs, including foreign dignitaries.
The People's Action Party MPs are dressed in their party colour you saw earlier on. They're all in white. And our spouses of our VIPs making their way up. There are currently 84 elected members of Parliament. 24 are serving their first term. And of course the present Parliament is also represented by 10 women. There are 34 office holders in the current Parliament. 5 of them are first-term MPs appointed as Ministers of State and Parliamentary Secretaries.
Ladies and gentlemen, The first musical performance is a local Indian pop
And with the
song.
parade at ease now before the arrival of the cabinet, spectators are here just taking in the beautiful views all around them.
And coming up next, the combined orchestra will perform a popular Tamil number. This year's parade features the largest orchestra ever put together for an NDP, made up of 240 musicians.
Maestro Ye Tong takes on the dual role as conductor and music director. And the musicians are here are from the Singapore Symphony Orchestra, the Singapore Chinese Orchestra, Malay and Indian ensembles, and the SAF Central Band.
And let's watch now a display of the military hardware and software of Singapore's various land and sea divisions. To equip all soldiers with practical fighting experience, large-scale exercises are conducted to expose almost every fighting unit to full-spectrum, full-scale war scenarios.
And some of these exercises also involve the Air Force and Navy to familiarize troops with the combined arms tri-service operations. And due to space constraints, exercises are usually conducted overseas.
Bilateral training and exchanges are also common, and through the years the military has developed extensive links with armed forces from other countries.
Today, Singaporeans renew and affirm their commitment as citizens of the nation. The total defense concept was introduced in 1984 to augment the need for the entire country and not just the military to contribute and work together in national defense issues.
And ceremonial protocol is a traditional and essential part of National Day parades. The ceremonies help unite people from various communities and promote a greater sense of shared nationhood.
And today, the SAF relies heavily on a large pool of conscripted soldiers in the active and reserve forces. It is capable of mobilizing over 300,000 reserves and has an active force of 72,500 for the defense of Singapore.
The parade standing at ease, looking sharp and smart as we await the arrival of the cabinet ministers. And shortly, the parade commander will give the order for the contingents to salute the VIPs.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to welcome our senior minister, Minister Mentor, Deputy Prime Ministers, Cabinet Ministers, and Ministers of State.
And the arrival of the cabinet here. The current parliament has 18 cabinet ministers. They took their oaths of office after the last general election in May 2006. Education, foreign affairs and matters concerning the youth have been a priority for the new cabinet. And here, Senior Minister Goh Chok Tong, a warm welcome for him, as well as Minister Mentor Lee Kuan Yew.
And it's the traditional warm welcome that he gets year after year, and really it's become a trademark at every National Day parade.
Well, as one of Singapore's founding fathers, this is always an emotional moment, not just for the crowd, but also for the Minister Mentor, who has attended every parade since independence. Foreign Affairs Minister George Yeo, Deputy Prime Minister and Professor Jayakumar.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the combined orchestra leading, let us...
And as the crowd awaits the arrival of the Prime Minister, here's a lively and catchy Malay song by the combined orchestra once again, called Cendrawasih, meaning Birds of Paradise.
But paradise was hardly what our forefathers had in the early days. Here's a tribute to their hard work, laying the foundation for modern Singapore.
The mouth of the Singapore River was the old port of Singapore, and historically the city grew around the port, so the river mouth became the center of trade, commerce and finance.
And thousands toiled as laborers, including Samsui women, each bringing a new culture and identity.
Nation building led to Singapore's first national service call-up in 1967, and Singaporeans witnessed their first National Day in 1966.
Together they strove to build up the country and make Singapore prosper.
A blend of Western and ethnic values gives rhythm to the pulse of the city.
In riding out adversity, Singaporeans live, work and play as one people.
Today, the city bustles with a diverse mix of races, cultures and religions.
And communities live in mutual harmony and respect.
Singapore has become a hub for entertainment and the arts, business and health.
A city based on justice and equality to achieve happiness, prosperity and progress for our nation. And shortly, the parade commander will give the order for the contingents to prepare for the Prime Minister's arrival.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to welcome...
And that marks the arrival of the Prime Minister, his motorcade, making its way into the floating stadium now from one of the entrances under the seating gallery.
This is his third National Day parade since becoming PM on August 12, 2004. And the Prime Minister will be greeted by the Chief of Defence Force, Lieutenant General Desmond Quek.
And shortly, at the order of the parade commander, the contingents will salute the Prime Minister as a mark of respect. And Singapore has seen its fastest pace of growth in 2 years, but PM Lee says what's more important is the spirit of community among the people.
And the spirit of togetherness, I think, clearly rings out strong here today.
As PM Lee has taken his place, nostalgic tunes now by local composer Jimmy Ye will fill the bay in a Mandarin number.
And let's turn back time now and relive moments in Singapore's history long before it became the financial and technological hub of Southeast Asia.
Singapore was once a fishing village which came into its own as a British trading colony in the 1800s. The population is a mix of Malays, Chinese and Indians with a smattering of other ethnic nationalities.
The early settlers labored and cleared jungle areas to grow cash crops like rubber and gambia, making Singapore the main center for export. And together they helped to make Singapore a flourishing trading center.
Almost all trading activities took place at the mouth of the Singapore River, and as the population grew, housing needs became more pressing, with people living in slums and squatter settlements.
The Housing Development Board was set up in 1960, tasked with solving the nation's housing crisis. In 3 years, HDB built 21,000 flats, and by 1965, it had built 54,000 flats.
Today, about 84% of Singaporeans live in HDB housing, where blocks of multiracial communities bond in harmony.
Singapore is now among the world's 18 wealthiest countries and one of the most densely populated.
More than 4 million people use the vast rail and road public transport network daily.
And this is where it all began, in the Singapore River, and this is where the story will continue to be written.
Singapore is also one of the busiest ports in the world and is a major Asian transportation hub too.
The future looks bright. Economic growth for the whole year is expected at between 7 and 8%.
Every one of us will help shape each new chapter in the Singapore story.
Well, Eugene, it's a grand day for Singaporeans here on the Bay as the nation celebrates 42 years of independence. The parade will mark the arrival of the President.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to welcome His Excellency, the President.
And now the moment everyone has been waiting for, the presidential fanfare marking the arrival of Mr. S.R. Nathan. And this is Mr. Nathan's 8th year officiating the National Day Parade. He will be greeted by the Chief of Defence Force, Lieutenant General Desmond Quek.
Mr. Nathan will make his way to the reviewing dais to receive the ceremonial salute. The national anthem will be sung shortly, followed by the flypast of the state flag.
gentlemen.
And in back-to-back action, F-16 Fighting Falcons are fast approaching overhead. Listen out as the roaring jets with their afterburners salute the nation with a magnificent bomb burst.
Three aircraft will be flying the victory formation, roaring overheaders with their afterburners. You will hear the sound of freedom. And here they come!
A few thrilling moments there with the aerial display closer to the ground and much louder than before.
F-16s with their trailing white smoke will perform the iconic bomb burst in salute to the nation.
And in a moment, the parade commander will seek permission to roll out the presidential inspection, and that will begin as the 21-gun salute is fired simultaneously.
Mr. President, the parade is warm up and ready for inspection, sir.
And that marks the first salute to the nation and the president at NDP 2007. This year, the firing of the ceremonial 25-pounders is happening in full view of the audience right across the seating gallery at the site of the upcoming integrated resort.
And the 21-gun salute is a tradition that signifies the highest respect, fired in honor of the national flag and the president.
And now, in another first for an NDP, the president will inspect the parade in a new ceremonial vehicle.
Instead of walking as he inspects the Guard of Honor contingents, Mr. Nathan is being driven around the floating platform.
The presidential Land Rover is currently used by the military. It is the MV-270 model.
It was chosen because it can negotiate sharp turns required of this drive past as the ceremonial vehicle weaves in and out of the standing contingents.
And this is the first time the president is inspecting the whole NDP parade.
The president is accompanied on the ceremonial vehicle by the Chief of Defense Force and the parade commander.
Mr. Nathan is Singapore's 6th president, but the nation's 2nd elected president, and he is 83 years old. He began his career in the civil service and rose quickly through the ranks. Mr. Nathan has served as Singapore's High Commissioner to Malaysia and Ambassador to the United States.
The presidential salute was formally established at 21 guns in 1842. In August 1999, Mr. Nathan was elected President of the Republic of Singapore and began a 6-year term. He was re-elected in August 2005. Mr. Nathan was conferred the Public Service Star in 1964, the Public Administration Medal in 1967, and the Meritorious Service Medal in 1974.
And the ceremonial motorcade now weaving through rows and rows of people. The contingents here number 1,889.
Now a proud moment for the civilian contingents. You know, Suzanne, this is only the 2nd time in history they are part of the presidential inspection.
That's right. The first time this was done was at the nation's first NDP in 1966. Across the marina, the cannons firing the 21-gun salute are the exact same ones used since the first National Day Parade in 1966. Gun salutes by tradition are always in odd numbers because of an old naval superstition that even numbers are unlucky. Also, the number 7 was sacred in ancient cultures, so it's believed that multiples of 7 are favored.
This parade item alone features several firsts. The first presidential inspection on the world's largest floating platform and a brand new ceremonial vehicle for the presidential inspection.
And after the presidential inspection, the parade ceremony continues with the Guard of Honor contingents firing the feu de joie. The feu de joie, or fire of joy, is a French tradition where 3 rounds are fired consecutively to symbolically portray a sense of joy and festivity.
It was part of the sunset ceremony. That's when troops return to their quarters for the night to prepare for the setting of the watch. And in a few moments, the parade commander will seek the president's permission to give orders for the feu de joie to be executed. After the 3 rounds are fired, the parade commander will seek the president's permission to march past the parade.
And spectators here all game about sporting the animal-themed sun visors, certainly adding here to the air of celebration.
Mr. President, may I have your permission to march off the parade, sir?
And now on command, the Colours Party is forming up and taking its place at the head of the Guard of Honor contingents. A total of 3 state and 35 regimental colours are on display today. Our history of colours in the SAF dates back to 1954.
Back then, there were only 2 colours, the Queen's colours and the Singapore Volunteer Corps colours. Today, there are the state colours and the regimental colours.
Well, regimental colours are awarded to the formation or units 5 years after its birth. They bear the appropriate crests or logos of the respective divisions they belong to. And colours have a long history and tradition, dating back as far as the Middle Ages, other than, of course, adding pomp and pageantry to events like this.
The colours are also known as banners or standards, and they're frequently paraded during auspicious and significant occasions like today, National Day, and SAF Day.
The awarding of colours to military units is an established practice of many armies the world over.
And taking up his position at the head of the parade, 49-year-old Lieutenant Colonel Sito Park On will now lead the march past. Was enlisted into the Singapore Armed Forces in December 1976. After completing his NS in 2000, he signed up to continue his service in the Army. Lieutenant Colonel Sito Park On is only the 3rd national serviceman appointed parade commander in the history of National Day parades.
Here, the Army Guard of Honor contingent formed by men from the 1st Commando Battalion. They are elite soldiers capable of infiltrating enemy territory by air, sea or land.
The state and regimental colours here held by a group of officers, they're known as ensigns, and there's only one copy, so to speak, per colour, so it's the same colour on parade every year.
And colours are significant symbols of unity, cohesion and esprit de corps, inspiring a sense of pride and unity in the servicemen.
And these colours are awarded in recognition of outstanding achievements in the fields of combat, training, administrative efficiency and service to the community.
Officers march past the grandstand, they will tilt their heads towards the VIPs as a mark of respect.
Here we have the Navy Guard of Honor contingent formed by men and women from the Naval Diving Unit and the Institute of Maritime Operation and Systems of the Republic of Singapore Navy. The naval divers are highly trained in maritime security operations, maritime search and rescue, and all manners of underwater diving operations.
The divers were called into service for the search and rescue and relief operations for the tsunami disasters in 2004 and 2005. The number of contingents totals 25 this year.
The Guard of Honor contingent from the Air Force is formed by men from the Field Defence Squadrons of Tengah, Paya Lebar, Sembawang and Changi Air Bases.
The Field Defence Squadron is entrusted with ensuring the security of all RSAF air bases. During operations, it provides ground defence against enemy infiltrations.
And bring up the rear of the Guard of Honor contingents is the Singapore Police Force, led by Deputy Superintendent Anna Kwa. They are formed by officers from various land divisions and units.
The contingents are marching off the floating platform via the linkways and back under the seating gallery.
And the gigantic floating stage you see behind them was constructed in 6 months. It is made up of 15 reconfigurable pontoons or platforms that measure 120 meters by 83 meters when connected. And that's larger than the National Stadium field.
The dynamic synergy by Singaporeans behind NDP 2007 is truly synonymous to the Singapore spirit of one united people building the nation's success together.
We're coming to the end of the parade and ceremonies segment. Keep your eye on the supporting contingents now. To complete the robust display, they are preparing to execute a symbolic mass display commemorating 40 years of national service.
And after that, to commemorate 40 years of NDP 2007, we'll roll out a dynamic defense display called 3D to showcase 2 pillars of Singapore's total defense capabilities, military defense and civil defense. And 3D will pay tribute to our people for their tireless contributions to national service in the last 40 years in a highly coordinated, synchronized display.
And there you have NS40, a stunning end to the parade and ceremony segment. And more action is in store next. In just under 10 minutes, 3D will showcase assets from the Singapore Army, Republic of Singapore Air Force, Republic of Singapore Navy, Singapore Police Force, and the Singapore Civil Defence Force.
By the SAF and the home team, it'll showcase a slice of our total defense capabilities and the vital role of national service in building up this capability. It embodies the transformation from the past to the third generation fighting force we have today. Starting on the display, look to your left at Shears Bridge. In a moment, 40 commandos will perform a daring rappelling from the bridge.
Well, over at the Benjamin Shears Bridge, 40 men to commemorate 40 years of national service. They rappelled down in synchronized sequence, and they're from the 1st Commando Battalion. Well, the action extends next to
the seating gallery
and
the spacious setting of Marina Bay, and it promises to be a thrilling and electrifying experience even for those around the Bay Area.
I think there's an air of anticipation now. And here you see the 3rd generation SAF and the men from the Special Operations Command. They're infiltrating the aisles togged in high-tech combat systems in a simulation of one of their operations.
And with smoke flooding the aisles, the men have burst into the midst of the audience in an item aptly called Close Encounter. Precision weaponry and the latest operational gear are on show here.
And they're suited with the latest advanced combat man systems. They're moving in groups of 3 in action and up close.
What a thrill, and there's more. Here are men from the Police Special Operations Command, armed with the latest weaponry and gear.
And next, to bring the display to spectators who've gathered around the Bay Area, a Chinook helicopter carrying divers from the Naval Diving Unit is hovering at a low level, whipping up sprays of water with its rotating blades.
And as it passes at close range over the waterfront, spectators will get to appreciate the sheer size and agility of the Chinook. It's hovering just 3 meters above the waters of Marina Bay.
And the challenge here is maintaining an airspeed of 18 kilometers an hour and an altitude of just 3 meters above water to facilitate the exit of 8 divers into the water.
Divers will be picked up by one of the Navy's rigid hull inflatable boats, and there they go now. Two 7.8-meter rigid hull inflatable boats operated by the Naval Diving Unit, emerging at high speed from underneath the Esplanade Bridge to pick up the divers, pick them out from the water.
And of course, all this pulsating action happening against the stunning backdrop of the city.
Yes, this is the first time really that the Navy is able to showcase its prowess at a National Day Parade.
That's right, Eugene, and I have to say it again, I think it's especially exhilarating to see all this heart-stopping action against the Singapore city skyline.
And about 150,000 more people are estimated to be enjoying the sights and sounds of NDP 2007 from the Marina Bay area, around the bay.
And a fast intercept craft now performing high-speed water maneuvers.
Now by two PC-class patrol boats from the Police Coast Guard, and they will perform circling maneuvers simulating the entrapment of sea criminals during operations. And to add realism to the entire display, the boats are firing their onboard armaments and sounding their sirens.
The action turns to the space in front of the seating gallery with a parade of vehicles from the Army, Police and Civil Defence Force. This segment showcases land assets from the Singapore Police Force, SCDF and SCF in a mobile parade.
They are tactical assault vehicles and an armoured personnel carrier. Officers emerging now from them and performing operational drills.
Well, it's been one exciting evening here on the bay.
Yes, Suzanne, back-to-back action supported by all this thumping beat and arousing music. A truly dramatic and dynamic performance like no other. And you know what? We're only halfway through.
That's right. And now two red rhinos and a tracked fire vehicle from the SCDF rushed onto the scene. Also known as the light fire attack vehicle, this is a formidable vehicle which can maneuver into every corner of an HDB void deck. It's equipped with a hydraulic system for rescue tools, a water mist gun and a water monitor.
Now, the Red Rhino is an all-terrain vehicle. It can seat 45 officers and is seen around the country parked near fire posts.
And some celebratory sprays for the audience there. Front row seating always has its privileges.
Unexpected thrills there. And in more back-to-back action, entering the floating stadium now, two locally produced Bionics 2 infantry fighting vehicles and a Primus self-propelled howitzer from the SAF.
The howitzer Primus is a self-propelled artillery unit armed with a 155mm howitzer. The howitzer is a relatively short barrel used to propel small explosive charges at targets from a steep angle.
The Bionics is an armored fighting vehicle. It is a medium-weight tracked vehicle weighing between 22 and 28 tons.
The howitzer Primus was developed by the Singapore Armed Forces, Defence Science and Technology Agency and Singapore Technologies Kinetics, and it was introduced to the Singapore Artillery in 2004.
And the Bionics was commissioned by the Singapore Armed Forces in 1997. It was designed and developed by Singapore Technologies Kinetics.
Now turn your eye here to the sky as two Apache attack helicopters emerge from the horizon. They will dazzle the crowd with aerial acrobatics and combat maneuvers.
The Apaches are flying at a speed of 220 kilometers per hour and are just 100 meters overhead. They're also maintaining a distance of just 50 meters between them to give spectators a safe and never-before-seen closeness to both Apaches.
The pilots will execute steep climbs and sharp turns. And both Apaches will perform 360-degree turns past the floating platform at bay sides. I think this is about as close as any of us will ever get to an Apache, really.
That's true. And they're also set to execute a synchronized high yo-yo, that is to demonstrate the aircraft's agility in confined airspace. The high yo-yo is a maneuver meant to turn the aircraft rapidly to engage a target has flown over.
Well, it's been one thrilling evening on the bay with action on land, in the water, and in the sky. And now the Apaches are turning toward the seating gallery. What will they do next? Climax to the 3D show, the Apaches are saluting the nation now before they execute a rapid acceleration and they leave the bay, signifying the end of the segment.
What a dynamic display. About 530 personnel put the action together in that dynamic defense display. And as night falls now, the parade will now transit into the show segment.
Under the silvery and well-defined skyline, there lies a story. A story we all know. A story we're eager to retell. A city of possibilities. Here we live and breathe. Once a mere muddy waterway of humble huts and sleepy days. In the endless strength of water we believe. Water will reshape the landscape. Water will bring growth. Water will bring people together. Water is life. From this water, a creative power emerges. His name is Sing. So young and alive, caged with bountiful energy, geared with unwavering willpower, journeying into varied dimensions, prevailing over challenges and odds, fostering the bonds of sea, earth, sky, people, and fire. To build a city for everyone, a city for you, a city of possibilities.
And that was the prelude to the show segment called Bay of Passion, which highlights the power of water to shape the landscape, bring life and growth, and to unite people.
It introduced the 5 main segments of the show, inspired by the elements of sea, earth, sky, people, and fire.
We also heard of a mysterious creative power named Sing, who is the link between the various segments.
And this year's show segment of the parade is named Possibicity, a combination of the words possibilities and city, in line with this year's NDP theme, which is Celebrate Singapore, City of Possibilities.
Possibicity will chronicle Singapore's growth from a sleepy fishing village to the first world city it is today. A large water droplet has fallen from the water screens onto the floating platform.
And from From this water droplet emerges the central character of the show, a skater all clad in red called Sing.
I am one with water, giver and sustainer of life. Gentle, smooth, soft. Yet with a strength that's awesome to behold. An island nation embraces you in all your power and beauty.
This year's show segment comprises 13 impressions built into 5 segments: sea, earth, sky, fire and people.
The first impression, called Source of Life, draws its inspiration from the colorful and diverse marine life of the sea. Performed by 420 students from Clementi Primary School and even some parent volunteers, this item takes us to the underwater world where hundreds of vibrant and colorful sea creatures swim freely.
And the various marine creatures represent the different races of Singapore and the vitality that comes from the harmonious relationships among the different races. And the choreography is developed according to the theme of sea, and you can see waving seaweeds, dancing lobsters and starfish.
Octopi there and schools of fish.
And especially mesmerizing against the darkening sky are the luminous jellyfish drifting above the waters of the bay. Certainly the most colorful of the 13 impressions we're seeing this evening, and probably the most adorable as well. The kids here looking really cute in their costumes.
That's right. And mega bubble makers to help create this atmosphere of the underwater world.
That's right. And the costumes really bring to life the incredible variety of marine life here, all rubbing shoulders, or should I say rubbing fins and tentacles really, in this immense underwater dance party.
I'm sure the kids really wouldn't mind doing this all the time. They do look like they're having bucket loads of fun, and I'm sure after hours and hours and months of training, you know, they're smiling and they're grinning, and there's just tremendous energy there from the children.
That's right. It really is a rich and lively spectacle. And you know, when it's kids performing, there's always that sense of energy and life and that playfulness, I think, that comes through so spontaneously.
I hear they've been training since March at various venues like their school and military camps, and even here on the floating platform.
In creating this year's concept, Gopun Tech, creative director of NDP 2007, uses the elements, the wind, the light, the water to create a show that's one with the environment.
Providing the mesmerizing music for NDP 2007 is the 240-strong orchestra, the biggest orchestra ever assembled for any NDP.
And at the helm of this orchestra is Maestro Ye Tong, whose performances have been broadcast throughout the US, Europe and Asia. I really like the floating jellyfish there, glowing and bobbing above the bay waters, providing a surreal backdrop to this impression. The first of 13 tonight, called Source of Life.
And there you see the first hints of how water is being used to complement the parade this year. Golden water fountains in the canal separating the land and the floating platform.
Eyes are now on a dazzling golden outline of a ship, which is just sailing past under the Shears Bridge and is now moving towards the floating platform. And that heralds the start of this next impression called River of Dreams.
This golden dream ship is carrying 4 folk singers to shore, representing Singapore's 4 main ethnic groups. They're coming to a new land, bringing with them their aspirations and dreams.
River of Dreams is performed by 600 members from the Singapore Soca Association, a regular at the National Day Parade.
And images of boats projected onto huge water screens here in the backdrop, representing the vessels that brought our forefathers to Singapore.
600 dream weavers have assembled on the platform, dancing to pray for the realization of their visions. What you're hearing now are the folk singers singing in the traditional tongues of our forefathers, their haunting voices summoning our dreams and past loves.
Depicts the immigrant's journey to Singapore during our early days, a stylized picture of Singapore's past and the aspirations of our pioneers who contributed to the advancement of our country.
And the choreography of the dance steps represents the different trades in the early days. Dancers waving their golden cloths there, apparently representing a sort of spiraling movement, spiraling and weaving through our dreams and hopes.
What's setting the stage aglow now are large spherical props known as moon eye props. And the golden ship looking almost ablaze with light against the darkness.
through the dancers, the golden dream ship makes its exit from the floating platform back into the waters of the river and sails off into the night.
The sound of cymbals now signals the start of this next and final impression inspired by the sea called Fountain of Hope.
And the urgent sounds of the cymbalists picking up the pace to a near frenzy now. It is a high-energy scene that celebrates the prosperity of our harbour trade.
And this segment is performed by 210 members from the Ministry of Education and Christchurch Secondary School, as well as 200 members from the Soccer Association.
The students playing the cymbals are apparently all from the secondary 1 level at 13 years of age.
Fountain of Hope depicts Singapore as a leading world port that brings prosperity to the nation.
And the costumes apparently were specially designed to accentuate the contrast of the cymbals held in the performer's hands, adding to the industrial and metallic feel of this impression.
Character, our red costume hero Singh makes another appearance here with a row of cymbalists falling one by one at his feet.
Singh is played by 3 inline skaters aged 15 to 16, Sean Lim Shaohua, John Chu Ziliang, Terence Tan Tianhao and Zachary Xiao.
Singh represents the creative red power that is Singapore, red being one of our national colors and creativity being one of the key qualities of Singaporeans that will help us advance into the future.
And Singh symbolizes the tremendous willpower and bountiful energy of Singapore and Singaporeans.
The costume designed for Singh was inspired by the lionfish. From its majestic outlook to its distinctive patterns found on its body, the lionfish was chosen for its characteristic features and its unique form. And see how the fins billow in the wind there.
The skaters who play Singh were apparently approached by the show committee during one of their skating sessions, and they were invited to be part of NDP and play the character Singh due to their remarkable skating skills, as you can see here, the skaters gliding effortlessly up and down a sloping wall.
One with earth, truly the wisest of mothers. After the nurturing of womb and cradle, she says, "You're on your own," and rewards brave effort and sweat with her rich harvests. Mother Earth, I heed your call.
And with that affirmation from Singh, we move from sea onto the land, or the element of earth, where we're enchanted by the miracle and beauty of natural flora.
380 students from St. Joseph's Convent play garden fairies in this segment, which celebrates environmental and spiritual purity.
And it's a youthful and playful dance depicting growth and life.
In a moment, local songbird Kit Chan will be singing one of the 2 official NDP theme songs this year, composed by former singer and now music lecturer Jimmy Ye, called There's No Place I'd Rather Be.
Streets of Cairo and Bombay, I've seen the neon signs on old Broadway. I've climbed the Eiffel Tower, the Great Wall in one bar. It's sweet and sour, but that's okay. Seen Hollywood, the sunset London Bridge may fan the taste you gave. Crossed a river quiet, still I don't know why. I think of you each night and every day. There's no place I'd rather be. You'll always be a part of me. And even though I've roamed the world, still my home I long to see. This is where my family and my friends are with me. So I cross the sky to be where I want to be. I've braved the rain in Spain, danced in Taipei. I've queued in the West End to catch the pace. Discovered I love snow, all the nights in San Francisco. Still it's you I miss when I'm away. There's no place I'd rather be. You'll always be a part of me. And even though I've roamed the world, still my home I long to see. This is where my family and my friends are with me. So I cross the sky to be where I want to be. There's no place I'd rather be. You'll always be a part of me. And even though I know the world, still my home I long to see. This is where my family and my friends grow up with me. So across the skies and silver seas to be where I wanna be. 'Cause there's no place I'd rather be. Thank you.
Kit Chan there with one of the two official NDP theme songs this year. There's no place I'd rather be.
And our Red Hero Singh joins us once again with two other similarly clad companions to partake in the merrymaking. There he is, weaving among the garden fairies.
From flora or plant life, we move it on to fauna or animal life in this next segment called Singer City.
Participants carrying animal props now walking on water from the direction of the Esplanade Bridge towards the floating platform.
Involves 428 Singapore Soccer Association members and is inspired primarily by the singer or lion and his kingdom of wild animals. 8 types of them to be exact, including of elephants, camels, tigers, chameleons, goats, orangutans and mouse deer.
And these animals were chosen to best represent the different countries in the Southeast Asia region. Well, Singapore takes its name from Singa, the Malay word for lion, and is sometimes referred to as the Lion City.
And legend has it that during the 11th century, Sang Nila Utama, a visiting Sri Vijayan prince, saw an animal he mistook for a lion, and Singapore's modern-day name was born.
The animal shapes and props themselves are inspired by the traditional Indonesian art form of wayang kulit, or shadow puppet plays. The Indonesian word wayang is derived from a word meaning shadow or ghost, and kulit means leather or skin.
And wayang kulit has, of course, been around at least 800 years in the Indonesian archipelago.
ministers in the seating gallery have now sportingly put on their singer caps from their fun packs.
The singer caps, of course, are reflecting the theme of this performance that celebrates the spirit of singer or lion.
And here they come, the 18 fire dancers for this impression, running onto the platform wielding balls of flame.
The fire dancers' ages range from 16 to 30 years old. And how simple they make it look, Eugene.
That's right, the show committee engaged an experienced and qualified fire trainer to equip the performers with the right skills to perform this act.
And of course their costumes are fireproof, and they're also provided with hand gloves for extra safety.
Fire dancers are counting the steps with looks of intense concentration on their faces.
And a green laser lion caps off an intense performance.
Shots of dazzling red pyrotechnics signaling the start of this next item, which includes only the Red Lion's second night dive in the history of the NDP. And here we see the free fallers now exiting from a height of 6,000 feet, along to the voice of Ghani, who sings the other NDP theme song.
Amazing in our ways, surprise us every corner, delightful nights and days. We take this country and turn it from a place to a home that greets you with smiles on every face. Will you come on this great journey? Will you help to make it real? Will you ride us brand new stories so that everyone will feel? So will you swim the current? Will you scale new heights? Will you make it happen? Will you let your dreams take flight? Will you seize the day? Will you live each moment? Will you dare to find new ways? Will you take this city and turn it from a place to a home that greets you with smiles on every face? Will you come on this great journey? Will you help to make it real? Will you write us brand new stories so that everyone will feel? So will you swim the current? Will you scale new heights? Will you make it happen? Will you let your dreams take flight? And will you make a difference? Will you seize the day? Will you live each moment? Will you dare to
with one of the two official NDP 2007 theme songs, Will You, and the 5 Red Lions with a thrilling night dive.
And after that rousing end, a mood of serenity descends upon us. In another display never before seen at the National Day Parade, 42 kites with multi-colored lights are released into the night sky above the floating platform.
Remote-controlled kites represent fireflies frolicking in a ballet of glimmering light in this segment called Soaring Aspirations.
42 kites representing each year of Singapore's independence. And this item is also apparently gunning for a Guinness Book of World Records inclusion tonight for the world record of 42 kites flying at the same time at night.
And it certainly looks like they're well on their way to fly into the record books.
The kites can reach a height of 800 meters and are 100% made in Singapore.
The pace is just breathless this year. We're moving from one stunning vision to the next.
And this next impression is called Sky Explorers, performed by the People's Association, featuring so-called starlight troopers overlapping and storming in full force, creating fast-moving lights and energy.
And this impression represents our energy and sense of adventure as we explore uncharted territory.
Now, these Sky Explorers are wearing suits with luminous trimmings to take advantage of the darkness. And they're also carrying with them what's known as Sky Sabers. And in those Sky Sabers lie a secret, which will be revealed very soon. We see Singh making his presence felt again. He is the central character of the show, representing Singapore and our creative red power.
Display formations required many hours of training, with one of the main challenges being the synchronization of the dance steps with the music. And I'm told that in rehearsals as well as here on National Day, the participants are trying to achieve a spirit of being many of body, but one in mind.
And there you go, the secret in the performers' Sky Sabers that we talked about earlier, golden pyrotechnics blasting from them. skyscrapers are spinning, unleashing various spinning and exploding golden pyrotechnic patterns.
Of course, the floating platform ablaze with fiery light now.
A sudden shift in musical mood and the darkening platform now signaling a transition to the next impression called Boundless Flight, performed by students from Mayflower Secondary School.
And here 360 students have flown onto the platform clad in futuristic grey suits and reflective silver wings.
And the costumes were highlighted with a 3M light reflective material to draw the outline of the performer and to echo the metal wings that they're wearing.
And you can see the wings that they're wearing can be fully extended or retracted. Another ingenious design that ensures the props here are realistic.
Wing formations are all symbolizing Singapore's boundless flight into the future. This impression depicts our infinite potential as a nation, and that's why the choreography centers on the idea of the freedom to fly, and also the idea of team spirit for everyone to work together in reaching out for higher grounds. Again, the floating platform is darkened after a shot of pyrotechnics. The sounds of excited screams from the audience while holding their breath for what stunning vision greets them next.
one with sky, resplendent with a million stars that say, reach up to us. No dream is too big, no vision too bold, no enterprise too daring. I spread my wings to skies beckoning.
And a stunning spectacle against the night sky. With a wave of his hand, Singh sent bursts of red pyrotechnics rocketing from the top of Shenton Way's tallest buildings. Another first tonight in the NDP 2007.
Called Eternal Bloom, this item is performed by 480 veteran members of the Singapore Soka Association, incorporating the movements of Tai Chi, Silat and Yoga. This first formation shows the two people coming together, and this signifies that there are many activities that veteran Singaporeans can come together to enjoy, one of them being the martial art form of Tai Chi. And many believe that the practice of Tai Chi Chuan cultivates peace from within a person, which radiates out to its environment and community, making it a calm and harmonious place.
I am a million hearts, throbbing to one beat.
This next formation features dance steps marrying the movements of yoga and silat. Silat represents energy and yoga symbolizes serenity. And here the moves from the two art forms are combined to show how they complement each other.
This final formation sees the eventual shaping of the eternal sun, which culminates in a dance which combines movements from all the three art forms of Tai Chi, Silat and Yoga. And here we see the dance steps intensifying along with the crescendo of the music, with arms reaching up towards the sky.
The last formation, Sunrise, represents the eternal bloom, meaning that veteran Singaporeans can still contribute their stories, wisdom, and values such as family heritage, generosity, and respect for elders to the next generation.
This segment pays tribute to our forefathers who contributed to what we are today and helped in the building of our nation. From zookeepers tending to our animal friends to a host of other professions, here's a tribute to the veteran Singaporeans who have and are still contributing to society.
I am.
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 I am Singapore. I have partaken richly of nature's heritage, the strength, beauty, grace, and power of water, earth, fire, and sky. I will walk always in inner and outer sunshine.
A stirring prelude of the NDP theme song Will You by tenor Yu Chi Sing and soprano Nancy Yuan.
participants there, all 3,700 of them, taking a bow for their splendid performance this evening.
There to the NDP 2007 theme song Will You in the grand finale tonight, bringing us into another spectacular display, the crowd favorite at past NDPs.
Fireworks display.
The whole city is celebrating. The whole city is alight.
That's right, Suzanne. A big celebration is never complete without an over-the-top fireworks display. And the night sky above us is erupting into fiery showers of multiple colors and patterns.
And we'll leave you for a while to enjoy this magnificent sight.
Singapore is celebrating 42 years of nation building, and we're letting the world know just how proud and happy we are.
That's right, we're pulling out all the stops tonight, and the fireworks are accompanied by a culmination of all the elements that have been integrated into the entertainment tonight. The water effects, the strobe lights, the lasers, the flames, and the floating jellyfish.
fitting conclusion to what's probably the most highly anticipated National Day parade ever.
And it definitely did not disappoint.
It was an truly incredible show tonight at a spectacular new venue, Marina Bay, the first parade on water and on the world's largest floating platform.
And the first time the Navy has been able to show off its arsenal, the first time that water has been used to such an extent to augment the parade, from the boats pulling the jellyfish to the water screens and the jets.
That's right, a 27,000 capacity seating gallery specially constructed to hold the spectators.
And a breathtaking panoramic view of the Singapore city skyline here.
The fireworks themselves coming to a crescendo there. Followed by a moment of quiet now as we prepare to take the pledge.
We, the citizens of Singapore, pledge ourselves as one united people, regardless of race, language, or religion, to build a democratic society based on justice and equality, so as to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation.
Celebrates 42 years of nation building tonight, and the party is not over yet, Eugene.
It's far from it, actually. The fireworks earlier were just a taste of what's to come. And yes, we're seeing even more fireworks being released into the sky now. And President S.R. Nathan is making his way down to the platform to shake hands with the performers and the 40 main pledge takers here tonight.
We must live each moment. We must dare to fight.
There are 40 pledge takers to signify 40 years of national service, and they come from various walks of life,
including 3 pledge takers from the very first batch of NS men. Professionals such as a lawyer, a doctor, and athletes, as well as personnel from the civil defense, a nurse, a doctor, firefighter, and police officer.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency the President will now take his leave.
president taking his leave now.
Singapore DJs Jeremy Moon and DJ B from Zouk.
All of Singapore celebrating 42 years of nation building tonight. It's unbelievable how far we've come.
That's right, and such a special treat this year, celebrating right here at the heart of where it all began, the Singapore River.
Thank you for watching MediaCorp Channel 5's live coverage of NDP 2007 at Marina Bay.
And to you listening on radio on 938 Live, thanks for listening.
I'm Suzanne Ho.
And I'm Eugene Loh.
I've enjoyed every moment of this historic day on the bay with you.
Happy birthday, Singapore.
And coming up next, the reality talent quest Live the Dream. Stay with us on 5.
Hollywood, the sunsets in LA. The London Bridge, Big Ben, the Thames, UK. I've crossed a river quiet, still I don't know why. I think of you each night and every day. There's no place I'd rather be. You'll always be a part of me. And even though I've roamed the world, it's still my home I long to see. This is where my family and my friends grew up with me. So across the skies and sail the seas to be where I wanna be. I've braved the rain in Spain, danced in Taipei. I've queued in the West End to catch the lace. Discovered I love snow, home nights in San Francisco. But still as you I miss when I'm away. There's no place I'd rather be. You'll always be a part of me. And even though I've roamed the world, it's still my home I long to see. This is where my family and my friends grew up with me. So across the skies I sail the seas to be where I wanna be. There's no place I'd rather be. You'll always be a part of me. And even
The National Day Parade was brought to you by the following sponsors.
We see your face light up, as bright as the morning sun. We see a different kind of fever, one that makes you want to stay home. We see the chaos at work melt away to the hot cappuccino. We see you, a supermom, who at times needs to escape.